Hello, my name is Johnny, and this is my demonstration of the assignment 2. Welcome here. So the assignment 2 was generally built based on the assignment 1, which I had according to the specification. So let's see what has been changed in assignment 2. So as you can see, I built a few starting scripts, so I can start the project for different running environment. Here I'm going to start it using this script, and here we go. The server is running now, and it's connected to my database, Mongo database. And in fact, I'm using the Mongo Atlas, which is basically a database on the cloud provided by the. This is the overview of this database I use for this assignment. The server is started. I can refresh the web page, and here begins my web app. As you can see here, then this is what I've done in the assignment 1. Basically, it's divided into a few sections according to assignment 1 specification. And for the assignment 2, I created a link for the contact list required in the specification this time, and this is a protected area. So to use this protected area, let's click on the link. You have to log in and get yourself authenticated. So before we can log into this, we need to register ourselves to the database. So the database will have our user information. Let's go with this one, t1.test.com. Password is 30, the simplest password for testing, as you can usually see. And let's register. Oops, you can see, because previously when I was testing this app, I have already created the same user, as you can see in this collection, in this users collection, as you can see here. So that's a duplicated one, and I got rejected by the database because the username field is actually controlled by the password local strategy. It doesn't allow a duplicate on either the ID field and the username field. And the salt and the hash is actually the password that gets salted, and then the hash, the value is stored here. That's pretty much the mechanism controlled by password, and we shouldn't be concerned about. So for the demo, I will get rid of this user collection. Let's drop it, and then let's go back to the register interface and try to register the T1 user once again. This time I still use the password query. Let's go register, and here we are. We're now in the list of the current customers, which can be some sensitive data that needs to be protected, some or whatever. As you can see, we have a bunch of entries from the database, and they are read into the table that's presented in the upper half of the web page. And down below we have an update view. So I'll go down to showcase these functions here. So first I will explain how these data entries were loaded into the table. When we get to this customers list through the route, the contact route, yeah, it's this one. Here we set the router to the contact list address, which means everything defined in this router file will begin from the root. It takes the / contact list as the root instead of single slash. So when we're calling this route, we're actually calling this API, and of course, the first API is here. That's a simpler one, which just check if the users in the session is authenticated, and if not, you'll be redirected to the login interface, which we were just now. And as we're calling for this, call the next, and it will go to this API, that's contact listing, defined in this controller. And as you can see, it's here, contact listing. So basically, just read everything from the contacts collection. The callback here will load the data, will load the retrieved data into the EJS template. The EJS template is here. As you can see, that it passed the data object to this template, and this template uses a for loop structure to load each of the entry into this table. For each entry, we have two buttons. One is edit, and the other one is delete. As you can see here, these two buttons. When you click on the button, you're actually calling these two API, which is edit and delete. As you can see, this API here, edit, which basically reads the whole collection into this variable, and it also reads that entry with the ID you're calling, that's the ID here, into this variable, and then you will pass these two variables into the EJS template. So by clicking on edit, as you can see, it just put this specific entry's information into the update view, and just in this view you can make any modifications you desire, just like this. Hit the update button, the entry will be changed in the database and then reflected on the table. We can see here. Let's refresh. You see contacts. This entry named Erling Haaland was changed. It was Erling Haaland Jr. just now. That's the edit, the function of the edit button. Click any of the edit button, it will just load that entry's information into the update view. But if by any means you decided to give up your modification in the midway, you just hit the cancel button, and it will clear everything from the update view. And this is implemented actually on the client side with this script. It's not a server-side function. Add a new entry from the update view. So let's try this one. Let's say, and let's hit update. And as you can see, the new entry has been appended to this table, because for the update button, the API is the same API. They use a if condition to tell if the button has a value of the ID, will have an ID as its value if present. But if we start scratch in the update view, there won't be an ID for this entry. So if we don't have an ID, it will simply create a new entry. So that's how this APIs works basically. So that's pretty much the function of this table. On the upper right, we have a logout button. That's to clear the current user from the session. Try it, and we get redirected to the home page. And if I, for whatever reason, I want to go back to this contact list again, I need to get authenticated. Otherwise, I won't be allowed to access any of the sensitive data on this website. That's pretty much the demo. I think I have did everything as the specification, and that should be a 100% compliance. So I hope everything works, and thank you for watching. That's all.